Put your big beautiful smiles on. Turn this down. Okay, hello everybody. Hello everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I am Dr. Suzette Robinson, and I am a certifier, educator, author, and I work with people that are having difficulties with their hair, whether it's stopped growing or they have some type of injuries. I work with them. But I also have this lovely panel, and I'm going to let each one of them introduce themselves to you. Let's start with Dr. Pam.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I am Dr. Pamela Hill, located in your Fredericksburg, Virginia area. I am a board certified trichologist and also a board drugless practitioner. I'm an owner of a salon. Welcome to our call.
I know, right? All right, let's go, Shanae. Bring us
All
in.
right, hi. Welcome back to another Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I am Shanae Starnes. I am located in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am a licensed cosmetology educator, as well as a board certified trichologist, as well as a health insurance agent. And we're here to bring value to you each and every Tuesday. Thank you.
Oh God, this is good. And we have our lovely Marguerite. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello, everyone. Glad that you decided to join us once again on our Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I'm Marguerite, the owner of Amore Hair Studios. I am your certified trichologist. I am located in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm glad to have you once again.
Wow. And Lord knows we couldn't do this without the one and only Dr. B. Dr. B, tell them about yourself and what you're going to bring to the table tonight.
Sure. Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening to our panel. Good evening to all of our listeners and watchers. I am so excited to be here today. My name is Dr. Rashawn Burnex, and I'm here in the Washington, D.C. area. I am your, area extension specialist. Like I say every week, I love everything about extensions. I love sharing the information that I have in regards to them. So if you're interested in anything like that, you're always welcome to hit me up. But tonight, I'm so excited to bring to you this topic. And it is a topic that I think would be very advantageous for those who have a salon business. You may have a school, you may have any type of business that has employees, but I specifically did the research on this in terms of those who work in salons and salon businesses. But again, the topic does extend to other businesses as well. So tonight we're going to talk about the 4 personalities of difficult employees.
Wow.
And so I thought this was a great topic because sometimes, especially when we have businesses, and I know Pam has a salon and I'm sure she's encountered it over the years, when you hire people, you hire them with the best intention for them, right? They tend to seem like they come with the best intentions also. Sometimes we're deceived when they come through our door. But I've kind of broken it down into 4 of, I'll say, the 4 most popular personalities of difficult employees. And so I like to bring that to you this evening, along with some of the recommended remedies of how to deal with that. Okay, so you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. So the first one is, which I'm sure we've all experienced at some point in time, and probably not even just in business, but it's the know-it-all. We may have a friend, we may have a family member. I'm sure everybody knows somebody that knows everything. You can never get a word in edgewise in conversation. You happen to mention something and they say, oh, that happened to me. And I know that, we know that person, right? So the know-it-all is, yes, that person who thinks they know absolutely everything. Somebody start with me and tell me, how do you think, or what do you think would be the best way to deal with the know-it-all personality?
I'll start off and I'll share that, you know, I've been in those experiences, especially in corporate America, working and, you know, doing my businesses. I had to grow and I took those types of experiences that I learned there in order for me to help manage my business
Mhm.
as a professional. But one of the things that I would do, and I do now for people who take on this stance of just knowing everything and not allowing other leaders to have an opportunity is I let them go ahead and do what they're going to do and find a time in order for, you know, if I wanted to add something in, I'll wait when there's a break
Mhm.
and I'll intervene, or I'll say, you know, excuse me, I'd like to add something to this to bring value to what you're saying.
Mhm.
But I try to, and this is just my personality, I try not to create confrontation, not when it's amongst like in the salon or in a boardroom or whatever the case is. So, you know, just recognizing who that person is, accepting who they are, and I learn how to manage myself accordingly, even though they may not be the best at doing so. It makes it a better environment for myself. Now, before I realized how to do that, it was almost like friction. It's like a battle.
Yeah.
And so I realized sometimes you got to take the high road and come back later and maybe share with them in a way where they can understand that, you know, I was trying to get a word in. You know, you can sometimes backdoor conversations and not do it right then and there. So that's how I would start off. Share.
Okay. Pam, how have you in the past, I would say, dealt with a know-it-all, say client or friend, family member?
And
Oh.
okay, how far are we going back? You saying past,
Well,
past?
you know, I mean, just pick somebody, pick a situation. How did you handle that know-it-all person?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you two different scenarios because I've dealt with this,
Okay.
and I can say of my immature age and my mature age.
Okay.
So on my immature age, I'm like Shanae say, oh, I will go toe to toe with you.
Okay.
I'll pretty much like you said, let them hang themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would debate with you and go toe to toe because at one point I was the type of person to where I'm gonna get the last word. You're gonna stop. You're gonna just stop talking to me. You're gonna stop thinking you know everything. So
Right.
that was the immature me.
Okay.
You know, so now me being of maturity, I take things with a grain of salt now. So, you know, I worked in different areas to, if I'm taking a class, oh girl, I already know how to do that. Why would you pay somebody some money to show you how to do that? You know, for what? I can show you how to do that and charge you half for that. You
Mhm.
know, so it's just like, it has nothing to do with you doing something because you don't know how to.
Mhm.
You are actually doing something or taking a class to try to maybe figure out a different way to,
Right.
you know,
Right.
go at it.
Mhm.
You know, so with that being said, sometimes you just have to be like, oh, what, really? Well, I wish I would have known that. You know, I'm gonna have to take this class anyway, and maybe I can come back and show you something that you don't know that
Mhm.
might have changed. So I do things like that more now to where I'm still giving them that clout, but then I'm also be like, okay, look, you know, don't come for me and tell me what I shouldn't do because you can do it better. Because we all do things, all of us up here on this panel. You
Mhm.
know, I think we had a conversation about finger waves. I can't do finger waves to save my life. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm hoping that, well, I know, I'm not gonna say I'm hope. I know that y'all would be willing to show me versus them, you know, criticizing what I'm doing. Girl, you don't know how to do this. You've been doing here how long? You don't know how to do that? You know, instead of criticizing something, just be
Yeah.
more mindful and just be helpful.
Mhm.
You know, be willing to give that knowledge or give that information or just give help, period.
Mhm. Right.
So that's how I deal with things now.
Okay. Well, I think that's great. And so my suggestion is, and I wrote down some notes here, is try to keep a sense of humor about the overall situation. And that's
Right.
not meaning laugh at it, but
Right.
you know, like you said, you take it kind of with a grain of salt so that you're not personally affected by whatever is going on or by that particular personality. Then, because they know it all, right? Ask their opinion about things every now and then. Because
Mhm.
most people who know it all, they want to tell, they want to give you the information. So if you ask them every now and then, it will make them feel like they're adding value to whatever's going on to the business, or, even to you as a person in authority, as the owner or the manager of the business, right? So we can do that. You ask them every now and again, and then, but you make sure that you don't let that get out of hand. So you have to monitor it. So yes, you're going to ask them, but you don't want to make it so that they feel so comfortable to always interject,
Right.
right? And then the other thing is you can always pull them to the side and say, hey, when we're in such and such of a situation, if we're in a meeting, if we're in the boardroom, if we're in a salon meeting, I know that you have a lot of experience, right? And I believe in your experience, but just for the order of what's going on, I need you to refrain from, just interjecting haphazardly and things like that. So you just pull them to the side and have that conversation with them, but you do it gently so that you don't hurt their feelings, you don't offend them, but you do want to let them know that there's a way to go about doing certain things. And so that's how you deal with that know-it-all personality. The next one is called the ghost. The ghost
Awesome.
is the unreliable person, right? That's the person that will, when you say, okay, well, we're going to do a hair-a-thon, right? We're going to stay in the salon all night. We're going to do hair, and they're all gung-ho, but guess what? When it comes to the night, they are nowhere to be found.
Oh, no.
Or they're the one when you say, hey, can you open the salon on such and such a day because I'm not going to be available? They say, sure, no problem. And then they're gone, so they are the most unreliable person that you can deal with. And that's why we call them the ghost. So Marguerite, do you have any experience with dealing with a person with that type of personality? Not even just in your business, but just in general. Do you have a friend that may not be as reliable as you would want them to be?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Now when you put it like that, I do. And and you know what? It's bothersome. It's bothersome because I expect differently,
Mhm.
and sometimes I think that we put too much expectation on people and rely on people. And I feel like people, the saying always said, people show you who they truly are from the beginning. And a lot of times we look past that because we don't want to think that this person is gonna be like that. You feel like you look at the fact that this person is going to be there for you. But all reality, the person, like when you really, really need the person is not there. And it happened to me multiple times. It happened to me multiple times. And because of the type of person that I am, I expect everybody to be like me. Right. And so, and I want this, and I think I want this more than the person itself. And I think that that's where I go wrong because, like I said, the person showed me who they are from the beginning. So I can't expect them to rely on them on certain things. Now, certain things they might come through for me, or whatever situation that at hand. But certain things, I just know that they're not gonna be the person.
Right.
So I need to stop allowing myself to think differently. And knowing that in any situation, whatever it may be, that they are not reliable in that issue or that circumstances or whatever it may be. So I just got to keep them where they are and knowing that, okay, in this situation, I know they are in that situation. They're going to be there in that situation. But I know on the other hand, in a different situation, no, that's not the person I need to be able to handle that.
Okay, that is so good because it made me think about somebody. And so I'm going to come back. But Dr. Suzette, I want you to chime in and give us the ghost.
The ghost.
The ghost. Give us the ghost.
You know what? This is so good because you're absolutely right. all of us have experienced, if you own a business or if you have been a part of a business or whatever, you're going to have that person.
Mhm.
Now, this is my take on that. I do know a person who has shown me several times that
Mhm,
they're just not reliable
mhm,
for
Mhm.
anything. Hear me good,
mhm,
for nothing.
Wow.
And with that, like Marguerite said, sometimes we expect more because if you ask me to do something, I try to do it to the best of my ability. So quite naturally, I think people going to do me the same way I do them. And that's not the truth.
Mhm.
So
mhm.
when
No.
you find out that you have a person and this is their character and you know you can't rely on them, I would advise you from a personal standpoint, never ask them to be a part of anything that you know you need to get done. I
Mhm,
mean, I believe in giving chances. I believe in allowing someone to try to get it right. But if it happens more than it needs to, then that's a
mhm,
sign to me
Mhm.
that they
mhm.
are not reliable. But I want to slip something in. What about the person that always makes suggestions?
Oh, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait
Gee,
a
you
minute.
don't got, you don't went
It's,
above and
yeah,
beyond.
you didn't,
Wait a minute. You
stepping
can't
on his
say that.
Let me.
toes.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna say hold that because that's something good to talk about. So put that down. So that put a pin in it because I'll come back to that. And I'm gonna just ask you now, what were you gonna say? So you got to remember.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
listen. When you ask me, do I know of a person? This
Mhm.
happened just recently.
Okay. So we're gonna come back to that.
It's fresh.
So this is what, as you guys were talking, I was thinking I too know somebody like that. Somebody who I absolutely love and adore and is very dear to me. But because of situations that have transpired, I have come to understand, like Marguerite said, that you can't always get them to do certain things. You know, I imagine in my mind there's a hierarchy of things that I need to get done. There are some very important things, and then there are some things that can, you know, I can get to them when I get to them. They're not pressing at all. I
Mhm.
know that when I am against a time period or something that is just so important that it needs to be done, it needs to be done a certain kind of way, I may not be able to
For
call on this
myself.
particular person.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
But there are plenty of things where I can call on them. And so there's that old phrase, a place for everything and everything in its place.
Mm-hmm.
I put people in the same boat. There's a
That's
place for every person and every person in their place. And you put
Mm-hmm.
them in their place in your life to where it's going to, you know, benefit you. It may benefit them. It will keep friendships together.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that often tears apart friendships and just relationships is we try to place our expectations on people
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
they've already shown us that they're unable to meet our expectations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
meet the
Mm-hmm.
person where they are. If they are just not reliable, you can still be their friend.
Yeah,
You
you
can still deal with them. You just know that you can't count on them to do certain things. But that still can be the girl that you call or the guy that you call up on the phone and we have great laughs, or the
Mhm.
person that you say, come to my barbecue. I'm having a barbecue at 3 o'clock. Guess what? They're not going to be there at 3 o'clock. So don't ask them to bring a main dish, but they're going to be there
That
at
part. That
right?
part.
They're gonna
Yeah.
come at 6 o'clock. So you can still deal with them, but you just have to make sure that they're in the correct place in your life. Did you want to
Mm-hmm.
say something, Shanae?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
did.
good.
Because a lot of times that comes with maturity. Because
Yes.
when people do you like that, don't discount the fact that you're just not as important to them.
Yeah.
To them, like
Mhm.
I don't want it to. We're not sweeping this under the rug, because
Right.
what we always talk about is when it comes to building a business, see, these same character, personality traits that you embody will follow
Mm-hmm.
you into business. And people don't purchase from individuals who ghost other
Absolutely.
people, because that's a personality trait that is one that if you want to get better, that will be a good area to do that and have the integrity. My friend,
Yes.
and I'm in my late 40s now, and she was like, when you show up, you show up, you
Mhm.
show up. And when I started to embody that, it just made differences in relationships. People not only will view your integrity, but they'll call on you for more things. And maybe some people, like you said, they're just not ready for that.
Mhm.
But sometimes people aren't going to just sweep it under the rug. And this is you're right. Many relationships are tarnished because sometimes we have to tell people how they've made us feel and what they've
Yeah.
done, so
Mhm.
that they make the decision. Stop lying, stop
Mhm.
not doing what you're saying you're going to do. Like,
Mhm.
show up for me because you want me to
Mhm.
show up for you.
Right.
So this is a good area, the ghost. People get
Right.
ghosted all the time, but moving forward, when you start growing and you want a business, you want a healthy relationship, you want a healthy family, you want to help them grow, you can't ghost people like that and think that it's okay without you
Mhm.
checking yourself. So I just wanted to add value to that.
I think that
That's
is
good.
so great.
Mhm.
That is so great. So my notes say first initiate a private meeting.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about before.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Taking somebody to the side to talk about
Mhm.
things. To me, in my experience, I've always gotten a much different response than I know I would have gotten if I had addressed something right in the moment when it happened,
Mhm.
right? Because
Right.
usually
Mhm.
people are around, and then we all love an audience. So let you try to come for me when it's an audience. Oh, I'm coming back for you, right? But that's not what we want to do. We're bringing it to the forefront to kind of get a resolution, a meaningful resolution, or a sensible resolution. So take that person to the side so that you can talk to them and kind of hash things out. Have sympathy, but like you also said, Shanae, let them know how that made you feel. How did that happen? See, personally, I am that person. I love when you say show up because I feel I am that person, sometimes to my own detriment, and I don't mind because I believe that, that is just my lot in life, that God has given me that. And I am a worker, when it comes to people. And so, like, I'll never forget, I know that the National Beauty Cultures League, everybody, we just came off National Beauty Cultures Week last week, and it was very exciting. But that is a very strenuous week because it is early morning classes to events to late in the night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This particular year,
Yeah.
I decided one of my good friends, she wanted to have a party for her birthday. And I started planning it out. And I'm like, okay, she wants to have this party. She asked me to kind of design the concept. So we're doing all this work. And I'm like, well, okay, I need to build the concept in the venue. I need you to pick up these things. So she pitched in and she did all that stuff. But I'm constantly going, right? Never really thought about this is going to be my week. So I constantly did her event, had to run over to the hotel, deal with some stuff there, come back to the event, break that down, put it all away, put it in the U-Haul. It was just one thing after the other. But I said to myself, if I show up for people, I hope that they will show up for me, and that's just how I kind of,
I ain't got no fan.
wait, let me give you. So that's how I operate. And that, is one of my things, is my personal, I guess, mission, is just really to show up for the people who I care for in hopes that they will also embody the same and do the same for me. So that's the ghost. Let's talk about this one. Now, this one's good. And y'all not ready.
Uh-uh.
The victim.
Oh,
I'm ready.
You
Oh.
all know, I'm sure,
Oh.
somebody
Time.
who loves to be the victim.
victim.
Everything done happened to them. Everybody's out to get them. Nobody likes them. Everybody wants their job. In any situation, they are going to find a way to create themselves as the victim. Situations don't even have to be about them.
That was gonna say that.
It don't even have to be about them, but they're going to find a way to make themselves the victim. Pam, you said it. You was about to say something. Come on.
And you know what? This right here, playing the victim, and I have to say it's like one of my biggest pet peeves.
Mhm.
Like, especially if I know you
Mhm.
and knowing like everything don't have to be about you because somebody else is getting the light. Just
Yeah.
because the light is not shining on you,
Mhm.
don't play the victim because it's not shining on you. Oh, this person came in here and got this, and this ain't fair because I didn't do this. And it is just like, you are not the victim. This is not about you. And I don't
Mhm.
understand the mindset of someone that's always has to play the victim.
Mhm.
You know, that's one of the things that I always, my mother used to say, stop, you can't figure that out. You don't know.
You won't
You don't know what their mindset is. I'm like, I just want to understand it. Even if you ask them or try to give them a reason, like, okay, really, this wasn't about you and this wasn't your moment. Why are you trying to make the moment about you to take that shine off that person?
Right.
Well, no, you don't understand because it has nothing to do with you. Like literally, it has nothing to do with you.
Mhm.
So we have to actually get better. And a lot of times, I'm that friend that I'm gonna tell you, good, bad, or indifferent.
Okay.
You might be mad, and I'm like, okay, you mad? I'll let you cool off. You don't want to speak to me. I'm good with that. But I'm that friend that's gonna tell you.
Okay.
So don't ask me to be honest.
If you
with
don't want
I'm
to
gonna be
know.
honest. I can't. I don't know how to sugarcoat. It's black or white for me.
Right.
There's no gray area. So when I see that and I'm amongst friends, like we was just talking about that, like if Dr. Suzette then went and got ABC,
Mhm.
well, yeah, ABC, and then I had to start with 1, 2, 3.
Right.
I can't be mad at well, why you? That's
Right.
not fair. And I did the same thing that you don't know what that person did. You don't know what that person has. You don't know what that information that person is
Right.
dealing or whatever. So stop comparing and trying to be the victim and take the shine off of somebody else.
Mhm.
It's just pretty much that's all I want to say.
I think
Let's let it be.
that's good. Go ahead, Marguerite, because I know you burning over there. Come on with it.
But no, because I want to say, sometimes really, if you look at it on the mental side,
Mhm.
sometimes people don't realize what they're doing.
Okay.
Because I want to say that because it happens. They don't realize that they're the one that's trying to shine when it's somebody else got something going on, right? And so I think sometimes it's a mental thing. It's a mental issue that they have because they feel like they're the ones that's being talked about.
Right.
It's like as soon as they walk in the room, somebody might have been laughing or something. They think it's about them. So
Mhm.
I think, if you really think about it, it could be some type of mental issues that people may be having, and it could be a generational thing where things that happened in the past and they feel like, woe is me,
Mhm.
no matter what it looks like. Woe is me. When I'm looking at the fact that them being a victim, they just feel like, even if they want to be the talk of the show, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? They feel like it got to be all about them. No way, no how, no way you look at it, it's all about them, right? But I think that goes back to some type of mental thing that they have because I'm looking at the fact that they're not happy
Mhm.
with themselves. So all that plays a part when you're looking at, the person wants to be the center of attraction. They want to be the center of attention on everything.
Right.
So I think that's a part of some type of mental issues or something they might be dealing with,
You know
and
what?
not knowing that they have some type of mental issue or mental thing because maybe in their childhood they wasn't the prettiest person. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And so now they older and they might have got somebody might have compliment them on something. So
Mhm.
woe is me. It's all about me. No matter where I'm at, where I'm going, it's all about me.
So you know what, Marguerite, I can go with that being a mental state because, to a certain extent, as you were talking, I said to myself, okay, because a lot of our personality is developed by experience, right? Things that
Mhm.
we deal with, that we experience in life, that kind of shapes, molds us into the people that we are. That also
Right.
includes our mind state. And so,
Right.
like you said, if a person has always been, say, the I guess I'm
Black
gonna
sheep, black sheep.
you could say that the black sheep, or the person that has been consistently forgotten or put to the
Mhm.
side. They
Mhm.
never at any moment, any time do they feel like they've come out of that, because it has
Mhm.
developed in their mind, and their mind has developed that way, that they're
Right.
always in that situation. It takes a strong person to break a mindset, right? To break
Mhm.
your own mindset. You have to do a lot of work to do that. So I would say that person who plays the victim definitely has a lot of work that they may need to do on themselves.
Mhm.
They may need to seek additional assistance with doing that
Mhm.
work. So some
Mhm.
of the notes I have is one of the characteristics of that person is they start overreacting to everything,
Mhm.
right? They love to play the blame game. They
Yep.
are the frequent whiner. Everything,
Mhm.
like you said, is woe is me.
Mhm.
Never can they see, and I don't want to say never as an absolute, but most often, it's always something wrong. Something, I have a client that's like that. The
Mhm.
client, when you ask them how the day is, it's whoa, it's like, oh, this, thing.
Floodgates are open.
Yes. If you ask them,
Mhm.
how was your weekend? Oh, it's this. And so, you know what? And so for me, like that person, once they start that, I let it go one ear and out the other. I don't,
Mhm.
I don't,
Don't pass
what's
the
the word?
Right.
I don't feed into it.
They trying to control that situation. You're feel. Mm-mm.
My thing is, and I tell them all the time, you deserve to live in a space of positivity.
Mhm.
Mm.
If
That's
you
good.
constantly take on that mindset of everything, there's something wrong with everything,
Wrong.
you are, in my opinion, deciding that you do not want to live in a positive space. Because I can look at,
That's
any
good.
situation that I may be going through, there's always something positive you can pick out of it. That is my
Mhm.
belief. And so if
Mhm.
you choose to do that, you are making a choice to be in a positive space. One of the
Right.
things that I used to tell the students in the beauty school, because I'll share this thing with you. We dealt with a population that they didn't have the most money. They were struggling to get, from point A to point B. And
Mhm.
then things would start happening when they came to school. And I used to tell them, I said, one of the things that we have to remember is what is the job of the devil? To steal, kill, and destroy, right?
Mhm.
Whenever you're
Mhm.
trying to do something good, those negative things do start to fall on you. But that is where we
Mhm.
have to stand strong on our foundation so that we become unmoved by the situations around us, right?
Yes.
And so I used
Yes.
to tell them for a long time, I couldn't understand why some days I was okay in the morning, I was happy. Some days I wasn't. I just woke up and I was just mean and I didn't want to be bothered. I had to figure that part out, because I said eventually that's going to seep out into your relationships, into your dealings with people. And
Mhm.
my boss used to say all the time, "Child, I don't know, you come to work, I got to figure out who's here today. What mindset are you in?" But it wasn't until
Right.
I said to myself, when I get up, this is who I decide I'm going to be. Okay.
Mhm.
So that is like where your affirmations and things like that, sometimes we need help
Yeah.
to get to where we
Mhm.
need to be. And
Mhm.
so, when I said to myself, today is a great day, that was my first thought. I had to cut out like the negative things that I would encounter in the first part of my day. Picking up my cell phone and you scroll on Facebook and you watching a fight, that was the negativity being fed into me
Yeah.
early in the
Mhm.
morning.
Early in the
And
morning.
when I watch stuff like that, I don't know about you guys, when
Yes.
I watch stuff, I realize like my fists are clenching because I become upset by those things. I don't like to see people fight. I don't like to see
Yeah.
people argue. It really affects me. So I
Mhm.
had to cut that out. But in doing that, I said to myself, you are making a decision, a conscious decision that you're cutting out the negativity so that you can dwell in a positive space. And I used to tell my students the same thing. You guys have kids, yes, things happen in the morning. But before you get to your kids, guess what? You got to get up out your bed. And so before you get out your bed, you tell yourself, today is a good day. Today is going to be a good day. Yes, things may happen, but I am not going to let that defeat me. I am not going to allow my personality to be changed or moved from being in a positive space. So yes, my kid may act up in the morning. They may, not want to get out the bed. I got to fight them to get dressed. All that kind of stuff. I may miss the bus because they walking slow. All those things happen, right?
Mhm.
But I have to make a conscious decision to be in a positive space. And that's how you break that mindset of being the victim.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's good.
So we're going to go on to the last one. Did you want to interject?
Yes, yes,
Okay, come on.
Dr. B, all this is like extremely good.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you said, when you're around the people that have these personalities,
Mhm.
like Marguerite said, some have that mental state.
Mhm.
I know some, it's not a mental state for them.
Mhm.
It's just a state of being.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a difference.
Mhm.
Honest, because they are fully aware of what they're doing.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
They are fully aware, and they try to make the atmosphere where you are be just how they feel. They
Okay.
get in the room and they can change the atmosphere if you let it.
If you let them, that's right.
Mhm.
So there are two types of people. Yes, there
Mhm.
are those that have that mental issue,
Mhm.
and we know how to handle people that have that. We know that they got a problem.
Right.
Mhm.
Got these other people on this hand who fully conscious of what they're doing. And I mean this because these are some very intelligent people.
Mhm.
They like attention at all times.
They want to have attention. Yeah.
Who they're with, they're gonna make some kind of friction in the whole, just whatever, so they can be seen.
Mhm.
Now,
One of us.
True.
those are the
One
people
of
I deal with. And but I'm gonna tell you, Dr. B, they taught me how to deal with them.
Mhm.
Because you can easily find yourself falling into
Being pulled into that. Mhm.
Mhm.
um, acting like them or getting upset. But the thing that I've learned, and this has warned me who I am today. I'm not saying I perfected every time,
Right.
but this particular person knew they were getting up under my skin.
Mhm.
I would not let them know that they
Mhm.
were bothering me. But I did have a mechanism. It's called love.
Mhm.
Love gonna do one or two things. It's gonna draw you or push you away.
You out.
Doesn't
Mhm.
matter which way it goes, just so you know. Because the word says loving kindness is how I drew you.
Mhm.
Right.
Instead of acting the way that I knew they wanted me to, and everybody know them. Y'all know them too. Everybody know them. You're like this. Here we go. But
Who you talking about?
I ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna get
No, I would never. I don't even want to know who it is.
know who it is. And my point is that when you start ignoring them,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mhm.
the strongest mechanism you could ever have. When they
Mhm.
air out the room or the joy out of the room, and you maintain your continence of joy
Right.
on with what you got to do,
They hide what you did.
they gonna disappear
Mm-hmm.
or they're gonna be real silent in the room.
Mhm.
That is what I've learned being part of the National Beauty Coaches League. Because
Okay, see, so very good
They-
things come out of the national.
Mhm.
Very good lessons, I would say.
Right.
older people there, they are some of the greatest teachers. They
Mhm.
don't
So much wisdom.
I said, you're right. They said, you smile. Just smile, make yourself. See, we have mechanisms on the inside of us. When we smile, we set up this chemical in
Yeah.
our own body.
That's it. Yep.
If I get upset, I'm gonna set a chemical off in that. But I'm learning, and I can tell the world I learned that being part of the National Beauty Culture League. I thought I was going to learn it being married to a preacher. The Beauty Culture League taught me how to handle situations in a professional manner.
Well, that's great. And you know what? I would say this. Go ahead, Shanae, and then I'm gonna close it out with this.
It was just two things. I just wanted to say, see, once you master that, then those people, those types of people, they'll repel from you.
Mhm.
See, if you don't create mechanisms or ways to deal with these personalities that may get under your skin, because they're not going anywhere.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a personality, maybe in a loved one, a classmate, a student. Like, it doesn't matter what they look like, but once you master it, then you have become empowered. I wanted to use that word. To me, victim, the opposite of victim is when they find that person needs to find empowerment, but those that are
Mhm.
dealing with them, once we master that, then we are able to move on to the
Mhm.
next task. Because remember,
Mhm.
you know, life is full of tasks on, is it going to make or break you? Now, whether they are on their growth mindset path, they're still on the fixed mindset path. But
Mhm.
when you're on the growth mindset path, then you're going to be, you know, becoming better in handling things that you may not have been able to handle
Right.
when you were younger.
Me.
So I
Right.
just wanted to bring
That
that
would
to
be
the
me.
to the platform, because empowerment is what that victim mentality needs. And sometimes we're not the ones, we can just deposit what we can in them. And
Mhm.
I've long let it go that I may not see a change in a person, but I'm going to be a seed dropper. I'm going to be a nugget thrower. I'm going to be you know, somebody's going to drop a jewel, and know that I can sleep well at night because I did all that I could within my power, because I know better, so I'll do better.
You
That
know,
part
and
right there.
that's great. That was really great. And you know what? I just saw we done went beyond our time, but I'm gonna bring this last one up,
Come on.
and it is everybody's best friend. They have to be a friend to everybody. Now, you know, there's a way, you know, that you can be friends with everybody. You can be friendly, right? We can all be friends, but I can't be the best friend to you and the best friend to this one, and that because you're too busy. That's what I equate that to. You busy, right? So my note says, be mindful that this personality is sometimes untrustworthy.
Ah, what did you?
Because be mindful that this personality is sometimes untrustworthy. Because if I'm trying to be your best friend
Okay.
and I'm trying to be Pam's best friend,
Yeah.
and then there's a difference between you two, you know, I may become untrustworthy to one or the other. You know? And so when you deal with, you know, in the salon world, Lord have mercy, we're in the salon all day long with each other, you know, and we want to have great relationships. We want to be friends with our salon mates. I like to create that environment where, you know, I'm able to go out, we can hang out. Not that we necessarily want to party, but you have to have that time to unwind. And I believe unwinding together can also strengthen everybody as a team, right? So, but you have to be careful about that particular person. Communication and meetings are very important when you deal with this type of person. So you may often have to
Every month.
bring them, you know, to that place where you talk to them. You want to constantly communicate and let them know where you are, you know, because it's important, because you, like I said, they may be friends with everybody, but you want to let them know this is where I stand.
That's right.
You know, you can't pull me over here because you want to be friends with Suzette. And then you want to pull me over here because you want to be friends with Pam. Well, actually the other way around, because I see myself on the screen, right? So you can't pull me and sway me in all these different directions. And in terms of, you know, working with this type of personality in a business form, you have to
not good
to meet with them regularly so that you keep everything on the same path.
That's
Because
Mhm.
sometimes
Mhm.
allowing time to get in between, people start to veer off. And then I
Mhm.
like to think idle mind is the devil's workplace. If we don't have, if we're not, if our mind is not being worked in a specific direction, it leaves room for it to veer off into other ways. And I think that's
Mhm.
what sometimes happens with this particular personality. As we wrap up, does anybody want to chime in on that one? Everybody's best friend.
Oh my God. Listen, this is so last week. Yeah.
Mhm.
You
That part.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yes. Yes.
know,
Yes.
that personality that
Mhm.
we're talking about is so real because
Mhm.
I got a chance to see it. Um, that personality will bring you information that's one-sided,
Mhm.
and they will be that. See, all things that you called out, they will be that victim.
Mhm.
All of that falls up under that. But
Mhm.
It sure do.
when you're listening to people and they're going through this cycle that they're going through, you be careful to keep your mouth closed,
Mhm.
Mhm.
because when your mouth is closed and your ears are open, you will hear
Mhm.
things that they're really not saying, but they're saying it.
Mhm.
See. Mhm.
And like Dr. B said, they're not trustworthy because they'll go back and say, well, Suzette said so
Mhm.
and so and so, or I was in the meeting, I saw Suzette there, you had just got off, you ain't know this was like this. Like, I wasn't even there. But people have a tendency of bringing you into their world,
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
a mess, or whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
But we have to maintain that position. We have to be true to ourselves if they're not going to be true to me.
Right.
Mhm.
So everything that you've said has really summed it up. Where were you last week though when I needed this conversation?
Well, I was right there. I was probably behind my computer screen clicking buttons. But but you know what? I am glad that, I hope that you guys really got something out of this and that the conversation was beneficial. And I hope so for our listeners and our viewers that they can also, think about the different personalities that we've talked about and
Mhm.
think about and listen to some of the suggestions that we have on how to deal with them. Before we go, I'm just going to run over it again. Number one was the know-it-all personality, right?
Mhm.
Number
Mhm.
two was the ghost, the unreliable personality.
Man,
Number three is the victim. Now, I had somebody tell me just last week that this is one of the most dangerous personalities
Yes.
Yes, it is.
because the
I think the
victim
last two, the
can
victim and the best
have
friend.
it in many different ways. When you're the victim, you can stir up so much chaos
Mhm.
that you can tear stuff apart. And so we have to be able to identify that and deal with it accordingly. And the last, like we said, the untrustworthy, everybody's best friend.
mm,
So I would love to say thank you guys so much for participating in the conversation. I really enjoyed bringing these four things to you. And unfortunately, I forgot, Dr. Suzette did not get to chime in her point. See, that's why I told her to write it down so that she would have it. But but I want to thank you guys so much for joining in this evening, and being a part of the conversation, and hope that our viewers and listeners really got something out of the conversation as well.
oh,
And as we close out, I would like to ask Dr. Suzette, please give us our sponsors for this week.
I will.
All right.
I'm gonna say this, Dr. B. Since y'all really want to know what I was about to say, you got to tune in next week
Okay. Come
and,
on.
and get all the tea. Call in. Won't y'all call in, please? Call in, because I know y'all got questions. I'm reading some stuff, but I want to hear your voice. You can call in and you can actually speak to each one of us on the panel.
Okay.
Ain't nothing like calling in and getting your questions answered.
Mhm. So you know what? We need to give the number out when we come on next week.
Sure
Let's
will.
Yes.
give the number out so that our viewers who are on at that moment can have the number and they will be or feel more compelled to call in.
Please.
They'll have the information.
Well, you know what? We're going to make that information available. I think Reverend Robinson said it's in our chat part. But
Okay.
we'll put it up so you people can see it. Y'all want me to put some lights on it? What you want? Put it out there because I want us to, because topics are so good.
Mhm.
These are so good. They're life-changing questions and you're getting life-changing answers, okay? So we would love, that's why Let's Talk About It Tuesday exists, so you can call in. Like when we're talking about insurance and different things that you need, hey, don't be ashamed. You don't have it, call, get it. This is the time to get in better position, to learn how to deal with these personalities. Each one of the personalities that was brought out in conversation tonight, we deal with it every day. Some of us got it in our homes. If it ain't our coworkers, some of us sleep next to people that's got these personalities.
That's right.
Find out how to really handle that without putting yourself in a bad position, okay? I want to thank Dr. B for an excellent job, and he will be back next week if the Lord says the same, okay? Along with this wonderful, wonderful panel. These are some of the smartest people I know. And I am so appreciative of having them help me to help others. We helping each other. All of us, we are valuable. We're valuable to each other, okay? So we want to thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. I want to tell you about our sponsors. We have Kingdom Dominion Worship Ministries Incorporated. We have Reverend Donnie Robinson. The church supports what we do. And Reverend Robinson, he supports us as well. He makes sure all our information is in so you can be reading and finding us. He puts the information in. We really want to thank him for that. Also want to thank Isabella Graphics. Oh, I forgot to bring, she made me this mask. That mask is so fine. It's got my logo on it. It is so cute, but I left it in the car. I'm not going out there to get it. But Isabella Graphics is a Black-owned business, and we're trying to support our people. Don't talk about our prices too high. Don't talk about we don't know how to, because we do. Because you go to other people to buy things, and sometimes they don't even speak to you, much less touch your money, much less they follow you around. And so then you have your own Black-owned business, and we would rather take the abuse of others than to support our own. So I support the Black business, Isabella Graphics, and also Pretty Gloss Princess, who makes the best lip gloss in the world, who is doing very well. So she's a Black-owned young lady who's growing up to know how to run a business. I'm talking about a real business. And so Platinum Beauty Supply Store, once again, we want to thank them for their contributions and helping us to maintain and to continue to do what we do. Did I leave anybody else out? I think I caught everybody. Didn't
I
I?
think that's it.
Okay, now if you want
YouTube channel.
Pamela, YouTube, y'all listen. I know y'all go to the YouTube. I'm pointing at somebody out there in this audience. You go to YouTube, go and subscribe to our channel. Okay, I ain't begging you to do it. I'm just asking you because you know what? Some of our videos are so valuable, and some of y'all really need to go back and look at them. Okay, support us, like and share. Those of you that's doing the replay, put your comments in the box so we can read it and correspond with you. Okay, did I cover everybody? I think I did. Oh, if you want to get in touch with us, you can send your information in to p2pinformation7@gmail.com, or you can hit either one of us up on Facebook. We'll be glad to try to answer any questions that you may have. Once again, it has been our pleasure. We love you. Glad to be a part of your afternoon on Let's Talk About It Tuesday. But we're going to say good night.
Good
Night.
night.
Bye.
Yeah.
Right.